Hello students, I am Aniket Karsh and today we will start this employability skills. This is part A of your syllabus. In part B, we have already completed unit 4, web applications and security. That will be of 40 marks, right? Part B. And this is part A, employability skills. This will contain of 10 marks. Okay. Now let's see what is the syllabus of part A. As you can see here, in this part A, employability skills, unit 1 is communication skills, second unit is self-management skills, third unit information and communication technology skills, and fourth entrepreneurial skills, and fifth is green skill, right? So this is the syllabus of part A. So let's start communication skills. In this session 1, method of communication, verbal communication, non-verbal communication, we will see all these things. So let's see communication skill, unit 1. In the present time, a thorough knowledge of the language with communication skill is very important in any occupation or business. As a student, you may study any language, but it is important that you are able to read, write, speak, and listen well in order to communicate properly. Right now, it is suppose what is the main intention of studying this part A, that is the employability skill. Because suppose if we will join somewhere as an employee, so what all things is very necessary. So communication is how to deal with the people, how to talk, how to behave. All these things are very important. Soft skills are very important, right? So that's why communication is one of the most important part. You should be able to read, write, speak, and listen. You should have all the qualities related to language. So speaking more than one language can help you to communicate well with people around the world. Learning English can help you to communicate with people who understand English besides the mother tongue, that is the language one has been exposed to since birth, right? If you are having a multiple knowledge of different subjects, you have a knowledge of multiple languages like that of English, Marathi, and like this mother language, local tongues also, right? Then it will be a benefit for you that you can impress the people of such a language. You can make them comfortable very easy. But you should have a good knowledge of English also. Okay. Now, what all things matters? Let's see. Methods of communication. The word communication comes from the Latin word communicare, meaning to share. Obviously, why we do communication? To share some knowledge, information, right? Whatever we want to express ourselves, that's why we communicate, right? So communication comes from the Latin word communicare, which means to share. Being able to communicate effectively, it is one of the most important life skills. Communication skills are needed to communicate effectively with people and customers. Obviously, if you are working in somewhere as an employee, if you have a effective communication skills, then you can easily impress. You will be promoted first based on your qualities, right? In the same way, if you are a businessman and you are able to communicate effectively, means you can easily impress your customers. So your indirectly your business will increase, right? Clear, concise communication is of immense importance in work and business environment, as there are several parties involved. Various stakeholders like customers, employees, vendors, media, etc. are always sending important information to each other. What if whenever you communicate, your content should be clear and concise, right? To the point, and it should be clear. The message you want to transfer should be very clear. Then only the person at the other end will understand, right? Transmitting, the sender transmits the message through one medium or another. Listening, the receiver listens or understands the message. Means one side the transmit, somebody is transmitting the message, the other side somebody is listening a message, and the feedback after this, listening, the person who is listening will give the feedback. Yes, I understood, right? The receiver conveys their understanding of the message to the sender in the form of feedback to complete the communication cycle. So this is the cycle. If you are a sender, you will send a message, the receiver will receive a message, and after that he will give you feedback that he understood properly the message. So what this, this thing continues, and this is what this cycle, communication cycle is. Okay, so let's took an example of of a bookstore. Customer to a retail associate: do you have textbook of beauty therapist published by National Council of Education Research and Training? Then the salesperson says, let me check. In the above conversation, the information is being transmitted orally by the customer. The salesperson is the listener in this case. Okay, the salesperson is the listener in this case. The discussion about book is the message. Okay, the salesperson: yes, we have the textbook of beauty therapist. Customer: please give me one copy of the textbook. I want to purchase it. So in this way the communication goes on, right? He is asking, the customer is asking about the book. The salesperson is replying, yes, I am checking. Let me check whether it is available or not. Then he is replying, yes, I have this book in my shop. Okay, salesperson: okay, I want this. Give me. So in this way the conversation goes on. Okay. In the above conversation, the receiver's responses, the salesperson is the feedback. This is an example of the communication between the customer and the salesperson. The process of conveying a message is complete only when the person receiving it has understood the message in its entirety. Okay, it is very important. The sender, whatever message sender is trying to send, should be very clear. So then only the person at the other end will understand. In this case, the customer understood the book, that the bookstore has the textbook and they can get a copy of the same. Now, communication process and element. You can see the messenger, who is messaging, who is sending what I mean information, and you can see the coding, decoding, right? He is giving, that is the coding, right? In the coded form, that is decoded, means he is understanding, that is decoding. Okay. The channel is speaking, writing, it can be anything. The messenger can message through anything. The channel can be speaking, writing, graphic, video, etc. Right? So the recipient will understand, receive the message. You can see from this figure also. Communication starts with the sender. Obviously, sender will start, he will give a message, whatever he want to express. Then it is encoded. Sender sends a message with some channel, by encoding it, and the receiver will decode it, means understanding of that. Okay, a channel is used to transfer the message. Then he will reply, thus receiving information. Okay, and this way the communication cycle continues. The various elements of communication cycle are: sender, the person beginning the communication, starting the sending the information; message, whatever message is there, the information that the sender wants to convey; channel, through the medium through which the message is going, the means by which the information is sent; receiver, the person who is receiving the message; then feedback, after receiving the message the receiver will give acknowledgement to the sender. Okay, so method of communication, it can be a face to face informal communication. As you can see, it can be email, right? It can be notice or poster. Through that also whatever, like 50% discount is going on, or there is one competition on this date, you can send information through the notices and posters also. Business meetings, in that also they discuss, they communicate with each other, and the communication goes on. This and other methods like that of the messages, phones, calls, and newsletter, blog, all these are what? Social networking websites also. Through these all are the mediums through which communication is done. Okay, choosing the right method of communication depends on target audience, cost, kind or type of information, urgency or priority. The method of communication. So suppose you want to send the information to large amount of people, so your target audience is too large, so you can use the newspaper, right, or the electronic media, okay. Or if it is limited to some particular area, then you can distribute pamphlets, right. So like this you can on the basis of the target audience you will choose the method of communication, right. And one cost also depends on how much cost you can invest. Type of information, what type of information is it, want to send immediately, or you can send it later also if it is okay. So all these things matters during the communication. The method of communication you choose could affect your relationship with peers, supervisors and customers. Obviously we have already discussed, it matters on relation. The effective communication matters in our working environment. It is therefore vital that you spend considerable time and consider all the factors, choosing the right methods to aid you in your task, okay. Now practical exercises. These sessions are very small and very to the point. You can attempt all these multiple choice questions, and if you have any problem you can ask me, right. Now let's discuss session 2, verbal communication. What is verbal communication, bhai? Verbal communication is the communication in which we use sounds, words, languages, speeches. Means what it can be? It can be oral communication or it can be written communication. Both comes under verbal communication. You can do verbal communication by writing a letter also, or by speaking orally also, as you are using the words in both the cases, okay. So verbal communication includes sound, words, language and speech. Speaking is one of the most effective and commonly used way of communicating. It helps in expressing our emotion in words. By improving your verbal communication skills, you will build rapport. Rapport means relationship, bonding, okay, and have a better connection with the people to whom you are communicating, right. Here we can see the list of forms of verbal communication. So first is interpersonal communication. What is interpersonal communication? It takes place between two individuals, okay, and or you can say one-on-one conversation. It can be formal or informal, right. If you are discussing something with your friend, that is also a kind of interpersonal communication, right. Now next, if you are talking on a phone or video call, that is also interpersonal communication. One-on-one it is, okay. Now next is written communication. When you write a letter or an email to someone, to your boss or to your friend, all these are called kind of what? Written communication. It can be a letter, circular, reports, manuals, SMS, social media chats, etc. It can be, you understand what is written communication, right. Now next is small group communication. Where it happens is small group communication when meeting is there, right. Board meeting, conferences. In this, number of people discuss with each other, right. So this is a kind of what? Small group communication. It is a type of communication that takes place when there are more than two people involved. Each participant can interact and converse with the rest, okay. And public communication, if you want to send your message to number of people, large number of people, then you will use public communication techniques like that. For example, in case of election campaign, public speeches, right. These are all what? Examples of the public communication. In this communication, it takes place when one individual addresses a large gathering. Now next, advantages of verbal communication. What all are the advantages? If you are sending the message by by writing or by speaking, by orally, right. So what are the advantages of that? It is an easy mode of communication in which you can exchange ideas by saying what you want and get a quick response. The main thing is while you do this, you get a quick response, right. Verbal communication also enables you to keep changing your interaction as per the other person's response. And whenever you are communicating verbally, by writing or by by saying something, you will get the immediate response, right, quick response you will get, and on the basis of that, the next step or whatever you want to say, you can continue, right. So this is the advantage. Now next is disadvantage of verbal communication. Since verbal communication depends on written or spoken words, sometimes the meaning can be confusing and difficult to understand if the right words are not used, right? So it is very necessary in case of verbal communication, because you are using words, it should be accurate, exact. Otherwise the meaning of that statement will be changed. Mastering verbal communication. What all things are required to have to master verbal communication? Most people tend to get nervous while speaking in front of a large group, or even while speaking to their teachers, managers or superiors. However, if you focus on the given points in the table, you can enhance and master your verbal communication skills. So what all things we should focus to make our verbal communication effective? Think before you speak, right? Think about your topic, whatever conversation is going on, whatever you want to speak. Before that, you must think think about your topic. Think about the most effective ways to make your listener understand the topic. Okay, note down whatever you plan to say. So you should have this in your mind, that what all things you have to focus. I have to focus on my topic, and how I should present it so that it will very presentable or understandable to the listeners, right? All these things you should have in your communication. Now, concise and clear. It should be very clear. Whatever you want to send the information or message, it should be very clear, loud, and at moderate speed. It should not be very fast. If you will speak fast, it will be difficult for the listeners to understand. So be sure the information you want to share is to the point. है ना? Do not repeat the same sentences. Otherwise, it will not be effective. Confidence and body language. And whenever you say something, be confident. Maintain eye contact. Your body posture should be very straight, right? And be attentive and be friendly. Okay, so this is the verbal communication. Now let's see session 3. You can attempt the exercise questions, right? It is very simple, I have seen. So I am leaving on you. You have to complete this. And you have if you have any problem, you can ask in Zoom lectures. Okay. Now next is session 3, non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is the expression or exchange information or message without using any spoken or written word. Means we know what is verbal communication, right? Means written communication or oral communication. Except that everything is a non-verbal communication. Except means what? What all things will come in this? Expression. Okay, expression. In other words, we can we can send signals and messages to others through expression, gesture, posture, touch, space, eye contact, and paralanguage. So all these things we will study in this chapter, right? Expression, gesture, posture, touch, space, eye contact, and paralanguage, right? As you can see. As you can see in this picture, touch means what? Handshaking, you can see. Gestures, when you smile somebody and, that is a gesture. Posture, you should be very straight. Stand straight, sit straight. That is the posture that shows confidence in you, right? Eye contact, whenever you are talking to somebody or giving any kind of message, or you are on a stage, you should, you should eye contact. Okay. To the audience or the person to whom you are talking, right? And space also shows something. If the person to whom you are talking is very close to you, the gap between both of you should be, is less. And in case it is a formal communication, he is senior or something, then there must be a gap between, both of you. You will learn all the importance of the different types of non-verbal communication skills, and also know the correct body language to be used for communication. In our day-to-day communication, 55% communication is done using body movement, face, arms, etc. Right? in our day-to-day life, 55% communication is done using our body movement and face and arms. Okay. Next, 38% communication is done using voice, tone or pauses, and only 7% communication is done using words. Okay. So this is the partition of the way of our communication, right? Remember this. As we can see in this, around 93% of our communication is non-verbal. Totally, if you will see, 93% is non-verbal. Certain example of communicating with tone of voice and body languages are gesture. In non-verbal communication, you can see gesture. You can see raising a hand to greet or say goodbye. You raise your hand when you say goodbye, right? That is what? That is a gesture. Pointing your finger at someone, that is a gesture. You are not saying anything, but you are expressing by just, your hand. So that is the gesture. Expression, while you smile, the people will understand that you are happy, right? And if you make a sad face, it means that you are sad, right? From your expression, it will, understandable. Now next is body language. Posture, by which attitude and feeling are communicated. Standing straight, showing interest. Okay, from your body language, the person will understand that whether you are understanding or not. Okay. So our message becomes more effective if we use the right gesture while communicating, right? If we know about the non-verbal communication, we can understand our audience reaction and adjust our interaction accordingly. Using the right gesture and posture is a sign of professionalism and etiquette, right? Gesture means it doesn't mean that verbal communication is okay. Then this non-verbal communication, you should understand this non-verbal communication also means right gesture and posture is very important, right? It is also a etiquette, how you are behaving. If verbal messages are obstructed by a noise or distance, etc., we can use our hands movement to exchange messages. For example, placing a finger on the lips indicate the need for silence. You have seen, right? The teachers do it with the small children. While nodding the head is the same as saying yes. Okay. So the types of non-verbal communication, facial expressions, anger, surprise, fear, happiness, sadness, all that such things can be, represented using a facial expression. Posture, straight body or slumped body, all this also shows whether you are confident or not, right? Gestures, body language, expressing an ideas or meanings, raising a hand in a class that I want to answer. This is also what? Is a kind of gesture, right? Now next, touch, handshaking, right? This is also, displaying confidence. And space. This shows, physical distance between two people. The space between two persons while communicating generally depends on the intimacy or closeness between them. Eye contact. Whenever you speak to somebody, you should do eye contact with them, right? It shows confidence. How we can affect our communication and includes the tone, speech, paralanguage. What is paralanguage? When we speak affects our communication and includes the tone, speed and volume of our voice. For example, talking fast may show happiness, excitement or nervousness, while speaking slow may show seriousness or sadness, right? So we should focus on all this and we should improve this in our communication skills. Right, now visual communication. Let's see what is visual communication. Visual communication proves to be effective since it involves interchanging messages only through the images or pictures. From the images, pictures, as you can see on a screen, no parking, no pet allowed, under construction. We have seen such images, right? And this images says something, right? Some common types of visual communication, we can see under construction, this image, not pet allowed, no parking zone, no entry, danger warning. From the symbol itself, it is saying something, that thing is restricted, mobile phone is not allowed here, under CCTV surveillance. So all these symbols or images is itself, sending some messages or information to you, right? Whether this is allowed here or not, something like that. Okay, so that's it. You can attempt the exercise, and if you have any problem, you can ask me. And this session 4, we will see it in our next lecture, next class. That's it for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.